Welcome to another mood boost class. This time to really take some journey inward and echo that with movements and just shift things and take the alchemy of yoga where it can take us to bring our cells into a brighter place and to illuminate healing, self-healing that we all have within us. So we'll begin in a seated position. And you can take whatever seat's comfortable for you. Make sure you're on the edge of whatever cushion you're on so that the sits bones at the base of the spine are on the edge and you feel a forward tilt of your pelvis, like a gentle bowl tilting forward. Take the hands to the thighs and come into your seat, that anchor of your sits bones. In every pose, we can find that anchor and we can find that light feeling of floating upwards through the spine. Even if we're in different positions, we can find that balance in every pose we take. So let's take the closed eyes so we can really go inward. Find your sits bones and sense that connection with the earth. And for a few breaths, notice the path of your breath, the witnessing going inward. And then our mind's eye can take ourselves to the base of the spine and take that journey up our wonderful, miraculous spine, finding those millimeters that separate our vertebrae, up the spine, past the curve of the lower back, doing a scan, finding if there's sensation in our spine, if there's joyous sensation, or if there's some not so joyous sensation. Notice that as you travel up the spine. And then up past the rib cage, feeling the shoulder blades glide down the back with an exhale as you travel up the spine. In between those shoulder blades, the connection there. And then towards the shoulder socket level. Then our amazing transition from the mid to upper spine, the cervical spine, the curve in the neck, and then that miraculous skull on top of the spine, and our brains connecting to that spine, the crown of the head. Already, perhaps you feel a little taller. So in our mind's eye, we've just taken a staircase upward towards the crown of the head, up the spine. Let's take a staircase with our breath. So we're coming into drawing breath in. That can be a mood shifter, a chemical shifter in the body. So we're going to take 4 sips in our inhale, gentle 4 steps in. And as you do that, imagine you're stepping up a set of stairs, 4 stairs. Pause briefly at the crest of the stairs. And now imagine taking that, a gentle elevator down to the bottom of the stairs with your exhale. And feel the breath drop into the body. Take the same 4 sips of breath on the inhale. Of course, they're different sips, but the same trip up the stairs visually in your mind. Pause at the top and then exhale down. Notice, take another round like this. 2, 3, 4. Top of stairs, exhale down. As you come to this end of your exhale here, take a normal breath and begin to observe if this had any effect on your body, on your mind, on your spirit. Do a scan and then begin the rotation again. Up those 4 stairs with the breath. And an exhale. this can be a breath exercise. You can continue this rotation in our seated position here. But if you're feeling any sort of lower drop of energy and taking things in, perhaps negative energy, this is a good one to shift it up and find the present moment, this beautiful present moment that we're all sharing now, that you can always bring your internal gaze around you and your external gaze to take in the present moment and its miracle. Now, fluttering the eyes open, just behold everything around you. Feel free to look around your room with the eyes, just beholding what's in front of you. Seeing if you can, if your perspective's been shifted just by closing the eyes and then opening up to what's around you. Inhale, exhale, and we're going to transition to the base of our mat. And we'll be taking some flow from the base of the mat. I suggest perhaps putting a blanket at the base of the mat to just cushion the knees, even if it's a little bit of a thinner blanket roll, not roll, but flatten folding here, making sure that the level is very even. And you can take, we're going to take child's pose to begin with. So take this down to the base of the mat and make sure that your knees are draping over the edge of that roll of the blanket and that the shins are our anchor for this. So we'll take the knees. We can take the knees together if that's comfortable for you. If you'd like to place something like a towel rolled or any other blanket roll behind your knees to soften this pose on the knees, you can do that. You can also take a block underneath your sits bone to rise up, taking the flexion out of the knees. And then we'll lean forward, hinging at the hips. Really take your hands to the top of the thighs and grow tall with that bright inhale. Forceps in and exhale. We'll take our actual torso down with the energy of the exhale down to the mat. So the forehead comes down. But if you don't want to flex that far, you can bring your elbows to the mat and your palms to your forehead. And just cradle that forehead as you look down. So you can take your choice here, or you can take the arms next to the body and bring the forehead down to the mat. Keeping either the knees together or wide apart. We have a lot of choices here, but we're coming into this very nurturing pose, allowing the shoulders to drop towards the earth, curling inward comfortably and bringing that forehead down, that third eye area down to the mat. And just take those 4 sips of breath in. Exhale, drop the energy. This time, just drop it and allow gravity to absorb that exhale. And take a moment to notice the shift, physical shift here. And if a mental shift goes with it, great. Feel the breath fill the back of the lungs. And then deflate. Brighten up the back body with that inhale. If there's pain there, if there's been or any sensations, just oxygenate that and release with the exhale. And if there's a flurry in your mind of whatever you are focusing on to, or perhaps a series of things that might be causing you stress, see if you can drop that out through your third eye right now in your exhale. Leave it be, let the earth hold it for at least the next 50 something minutes. And take your arms out long along the mat, reaching up towards the top of the mat. Again, if this pose becomes uncomfortable for you, roll over onto your back and hug your knees.
Drop the shoulders down towards the mat so you really feel that acceptance, that surrender. And then roll the head side to side very gently, massaging the forehead. And noticing the effect this has on you. It should be feeling very relieving. And now that we're rolling the forehead, we're going to bring the spine, the long spine, into that roll action. So we're going to roll the spine side to side. So if you've seen a long clay roll, like when you have a long piece of clay and you're rolling it out long, that's sort of what we're doing to the spine here. Beautiful. So take the fingertips to the mat and tent up your hands so that it's spider hands. And you can feel the lift of your wrists off the mat. Press through the fingertips. Feel, and then begin to pull back with the fingertips towards the bottom of the mat. Inhale. Inflate that back body. Exhale. Just feel the length there that you've created just by activating those fingertips. And then with the strength of your abs, let's come on up and hinging up to sitting position. Fingertips anchor next to the body here. And we've shifted our elevation, so get used to that for a moment. Inhale and exhale. And we'll take a gentle twist to the left. So let's make a circle with those fingertips around the body. And then the right hand will end up on the left thigh. And we can bring that gaze, taking in our surroundings, over towards the left. Inhaling, grows taller and brighter. Exhaling, twisting, celebrating that beautiful movement. Stay in a soft twist here. We're going to take the chin over the left shoulder, if that's possible, or only as far as you can go. Broaden your collarbones. And then look over the right shoulder. And press through your left fingertips as you look over your right shoulder. And then dip the chin towards the right shoulder, trying to reach the collarbone. And then trace that inward towards the center. And you're looking down at your sternum. Dropping the head in the soft twist. Inhale, bring the gaze, look up at a really beautiful, optimistic, beautiful sky. And then come on back and bring the gaze forward and come out of that twist. Center yourself, inhale, feel the reach, exhale, and circle the fingers around yourself. Take the left hand to left, right knee or thigh. Soften the gaze towards the right. Following your sternum, and then bring the chin over the right shoulder and over the left shoulder. And then from this point, we'll see if we can reach the chin towards the left shoulder, edge of that left collarbone. Broadening your collarbones, let's trace that line into center. And with that inhale, floating lightness, take the skull, look forward to a neutral gaze, and then up towards the sky. And then back, sweep your body so it's facing the top of your mat. Inhale the arms above the head, reaching long, feeling the skin of the sides of the body, stretching, changing shape. Inhale the shoulders towards the ears and exhale them away from the ears. Oh, feel the tension drop there. And then reach the hands in prayer position and lean over to the right, anchoring through your left sit bone. Palm trees in the wind, over to the other side. Adapting to wind, as palm trees will do. And other direction.
keeping those hands together. Now bring the palms in their prayer position, hovering above the head, elbows out to the side, and just notice your height growing of the crown of the head towards those hands. So maybe a few millimeters higher, a few millimeters brighter. Exhale the hands down to the mat. Anchor through these fingertips. Bring the right ear toward right shoulder. Anchor through your left fingertips. Taking the time through our delicate upper spine. Finding flexibility, something positive in the changes you've been making each time you do this pose. And if you want to help your head back up towards the sky, you can do that and bring the left ear toward left shoulder. Beautiful. And then come on back up. Extend the arms beside you as if you're reaching out to hug a cloud that big. And then take the right arm over left, curl the spine inward, as in we're doing a cat sitting up, cat pose, curling the spine, navel anchors towards the spine. And then open up again, inhale. 4 sips of breath in, exhale, release the energy down. Hug in again. Beautiful. And then come on up to our neutral spine. Reach the arms out long, hinging at the hips, and come up onto your shins and bring the forehead to the mat into puppy pose. So you're anchoring through those shins and reaching and extending the spine even longer. And our thighs are 90 degrees to the mat. Again, if anything in your knees bothers you, you can come up into downward dog as well. Holding this for a few breaths here in puppy. And then we're going to come up to all fours and find the back of your mat. So find that piece of mat that's off the blanket at the bottom of your mat. Come into all fours, curl up into cat. Exhale into cow. And then we're going to keep those back toes nice and curled. Lift the knees off the mat, gently transitioning into a forward bend. So bending the knees, bringing the ribs towards the thighs, walk back with your hands. And now's your opportunity to take that blanket off the mat for a moment. Roll it off to the side. Anchor through your feet. So really spread out the toes, keeping that ribs glued to the thighs for the moment, and bent knees. And then take the hands, anchor those palms down to the mat. So just feel your fingertips anchoring and your palms, bringing those elbows nice in line with the shoulders, and hang the head down. Release the head, allow some traction to happen with the weight of our heavy heads, extending the neck. So we're just draping the spine over the thighs, changing perspective. Now take the fingertips, find that root, that solid root beneath us, and we'll take spider hands and inhale into a flat back. Oh, that strength and that breath of the inhale bringing us up into that flat, and exhale, drape it down. One more, rising up on our fingertips into the flat back, extending long, and exhaling down. And let's see if we can begin to, with the fingertips rooted to the floor. If you want to use a block, you can do that too. We'll begin to bend and straighten each leg very gently, or staying bent, getting into the hamstrings, hanging down in our forward bend, gently guiding ourselves into a forward bend. See if you can keep a micro bend in the knees if that's good for your lower back, or you could begin to try to straighten both of them
in a nice even position with the feet hip width apart. Inhale into a flat back. And then take the hands to the hips. And we're just going to hinge up into a standing position, taking your time on this journey, those 4 steps of breath up. And those 4 steps with your torso as well. And gently micro bend the knees so we can just mitigate any dizziness. Inhale, exhale, find your mountain pose. Stay nice and strong in the base, but light on top. Inhale the arms up towards the sky. Let's reach up against gravity through our inhale. Exhale, let's use gravity, find the feet, and then take the left hand to the right wrist and lean on over. Guide the skin of that right side over to stretching towards the left. Spine arcs, the beautiful shapes our body makes. Inhale, back up. Find the points in the body that are just joyous and stretching easily. We're going over to the left. So right hand grabs left wrist, long side bend. And inhale, sweep the arms out to wingspan. And as they come out to that wide wingspan, we're going to angle ourselves and hinge down towards the mat. Bend the knees, find the mat with the hands, come forward into downward dog. So with the hands come towards the top of the mat, point with your fingertips. Feel free to keep the knees bent towards each other, in hip width apart, knees towards the ribs. Find the length in your spine. So the arms are going to come away from the body. So angle them outwardly, rotate the shoulders away from the ears. Whereas the feet and the legs, as you straighten the legs, you're bringing those legs towards each other in an inward spiral. So the arms are angling away from each other in a spiral, and the legs together. If you can visualize that. Inhale into that length. Exhale, gently come forward towards a plank, and we'll bring the knees down again. And here, if you want to cushion them now, you can. We found our nice ground again through the hands and the shins. We're going to take a beautiful twist here. So inhale the right arm up into that horizontal. Anchor in, magnetize towards your spine so you're really stabilizing yourself. The gaze comes over towards the right hand. Looking up, watch that hand reach up towards the sky. And then sweep down, watch the hand as it threads under the left armpit and reaches out, bringing the right ear towards the mat into a twisted cat. Left hand anchors you here in front of the face, and find those hips. Maybe the right hip is trying to come forward. Inhale, exhale, guide it back. Notice the places that the body is progressing in terms of perhaps it had different places of tension before when you used to practice. Maybe you've made some progress. Celebrate the positive. Let's take that right hand, flip the palm down towards the earth and then up again. And down. And then palm up towards the sky. Let's take the left hand on top of the right. So we're going to take a twist and take an arc, paint an arc above you with the left fingertips and reaching that left arm up towards the sky. Just reach, feel that beautiful shape. Maybe bring your eyes and gaze up towards the left hand, just the eyes. Gaze up towards the left hand. Exhale, bring that palm down, and then walk your fingertips up towards the top of the mat. And if that works for your shoulder, if not, just keep that left hand anchored in front of the face. Feel the twist, therapeutic twist here. Maybe bring those eyes up towards the sky again. Inhale, exhale, walk the fingertips back in front of the face and unwind yourself back to neutral, tabletop. Inhale the left arm. 4 sips of breath in.
Exhale, bring it down. Watch the left hand thread under the right armpit. And the left ear comes down to the mat. Anchoring your hips. See if you can even them out. Which hip has tried to move up towards the face? See if you can bring it back. Anchoring through your shins. And let's feel that twist. And then bring the palms together. Inhale the right arm up towards the sky. Paint that same arc upward with soft eyes. See if you can find in the corner of your vision that right hand. Exhale back down. Walk the right fingertips as close to the top of the mat as you can go. As you inhale, feel the length of the spine reaching back from the tailbone. And as you exhale, finding the earth. And then walk the right fingertips back to meet the left. Oh, and then put them in front of the face and unwind. Bring the forearms to the mat as you come to neutral. And we're doing a whole spine tour here so we can just really reoxygenate and change the energy up. We're going to separate the shoulder blades here. We're anchoring through our forearms. Back of the heart comes up towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale, melt the heart towards the earth. Bring the shoulder blades together. Inhale up. Follow that inhale up. So the 4-part breath, that staircase breath, is great here. Inhale, forceps up as you separate the shoulder blades. Coming up physically and exhaling, feel that drop as you drop the heart space, the sternum towards the earth. The breath matching the movement so well here. Exhale down. Opening up those possibilities through our practice, and especially into this mid-back range. Gently transition back up to all fours for a moment before we come into down dog again. So we're going to curl those toes under and lift the knees off the mat and see if we can this time pedal the feet in down dog. So you're going to pedal them as you bend the knees and straighten the knees. Nice. And just feel the length here. And then we're going to bend the knees, walk the hands once again to the bottom of the mat. And then take the arms behind you so that this time the ribs are on the thighs and we're coming into chair. So sit back in chair, sweep the hands towards the mat and then away up towards the sky, towards the back. Sweep the hands down, allow that momentum to bring the arms to the ears, peel the ribs off the thighs, sit back and imagine squeezing a block between your thighs. Briefly, and a strong inhale here. Exhale, stand up. Beautiful. Take the hands to the lower back, pressing into the low back. Take a gentle arch. Your heart looks up towards the sky. Your eyes look up. Pressing down into that with the hands towards the heels, supporting the low back. Great. Come back up to neutral. Sweep the arms up towards the sky. And then we're going to swan dive again down to the mat, changing elevation of the breath, changing elevation of the body today. Down briefly in our forward bend, walk the hands out. If you want to come to all fours, that's fine. Or if you want to save some pressure on your knees or lower legs, you can just come into down dog. And then we're going to transition towards a plank as we bring the right foot forward inside the right hand. So you might want to come down to all fours for this transition. Bring the right foot forward and the left leg back, coming into a low lunge. Place the left knee back, the back knee down on the mat. We come towards crescent lunge. And you can take the top of that back foot onto the mat as well. Inhale. the spine upward, take the hands to the front thigh and feel that, notice that shape. Take an observation here of the shape from that back foot, the top of the back foot, up the leg. As you drop the hips towards the floor, point the tailbone down, support the base. Inhale the arms up towards the sky, press them into prayer position above the head. Take another mind's eye trip through your spine, just feeling the flexibility and strength. Look up towards the hands if that's available. And then sweep swan dive around that front foot. Curl the back toes under. Lift the knee off the mat. And we're going to walk that foot towards the front foot. So coming into a forward bend here as we come to the top of our mat. Take the fingertips down to the mat and inhale into a flat back. Keep the knees bent if that's better for your back. And then take the hands to the hips, hinge at the hips, stand up. Changing our location on the mat. Feeling our arms wingspan out. Looking up at prayer position above the head. Draw a line down the midline. So invite that energy in, the bright energy of the sky, and bring it into the body. Find if you can feed the spine with that positive energy around us. Take the hands to the heart, bring it into your heart. Now do a body scan from here. Draw the energy up through our breath in that staircase upward. Elevator down. And then we're going to go back down towards the mat as we inhale, arms up. Make that beautiful flying action down to the mat, hinging into forward bend. And now we're going to come into that same low lunge. So you can bend the knees, bring the right foot back into a low lunge, left foot forward. And then you can place that back shin onto the mat and the top of the foot. Find your base, drawing the pieces together. So the front foot with the back shin, and then inhale up into a front lunge, crescent lunge. Finding the evenness in your hips, just letting that evenness find itself, allowing whatever status the body's in to just naturally find some equilibrium here, some balance. Inhale the arms next to the ears, press the palms together, look up. Celebrate that beautiful arc from the right foot, top of the right foot, all the way up the spine to the crown of the head and the tips of the fingers, and then sweep down, swan dive around the front foot. And then we can draw the left foot back and just come to all fours, take the knees wide, or again, we can just take ourselves onto the back and hug the knees if we want, or come into child's, back to our anchor, bring the forehead to the mat. If you'd like, you can also come onto your belly. If your knees are bothered by this too much bending, you can just straighten out the legs and come into that honorable pose, Adho Mukha Shavasana, with the forehead on the mat or on your hands. For an inward observation here, what are the happy points in the body? Millimeters of happiness, and then see if you can find something that needs a little attention. And just notice that, whether you're in child's or lying down. And then we're going to come from child's, again, coming forward into that belly pose. And then we're going to transition onto our backs. Lots of change of elevation here in our practice today. So onto your belly and then roll onto your back. From here, we are going to hug the knees towards the chest if you haven't already. And then gently cross the legs, so left on top of right. And you're going to see if you can reach the feet here. So you're kind of hugging the feet. Just notice those lovely feet in your hands. And then the knees are up towards the sky. We're kind of in cross-legged here, looking upward. Feel the cross of the legs, feel the sacrum, and find it on the mat. So you'll probably reach that lower back up towards the sky a bit. You'll feel that arch. That's okay. Just rock the hips side to side as you gently hold onto the feet. And just roll sacrum however you'd like. And then change the cross of the legs right on top of left. Finding the sacrum base on the mat. There you go. Great. And then we're going to roll again onto our bellies. Transition up into all fours. Come up into down dog again. Beautiful. And we're going to walk back to the back of the mat. Inhale up into a flat back, hinging up to mountain. Beautiful. Let's walk our right foot forward and find the base of our feet into ready for warrior one, keeping the hips, hands on hips, guiding them so they're even. Inhale up through the spine. Exhale, bend the right knee towards those middle two toes. Drop that pelvis down with your exhale and planting that back foot at an angle, whatever's comfortable for your knee. Warrior one. Warrior strength. Let's inhale the arms up towards the sky and exhale, bring them into cactus arms. First, let's inhale first up and exhale lion's breath as you come into cactus. Stick the tongue out. Inhale in what you'd like to invite in. Exhale out through lion's breath. Inhale again up. Exhale, lion's breath. And then swan dive around the front foot. Curl the back toes under. Low lunge. Sweep the right foot back to meet the left. Really doing our variations of sun salutation today. Back to down dog. Notice the sensations in the hamstrings. Bend the knees. Walk the hands towards the feet. Up, inhaling into a flat back. Draw the inner thighs together so you activate that strength even though there's no block there today. Inhale up into mountain. Find your strong mountain. Walk the left foot forward. And we're going to find that same base towards warrior one. Angling that back foot. Keeping the knees protected by drawing up from your quads. Bend the left knee and bring the hips down, pointing the tailbone down. And where the hips, draw them looking forward with your hands, guide them forward. Inhale up towards the sky. Exhale, lion's breath. Inhale up. Exhale, anything you don't need. Draw the power in, forceps in, exhale. Feel your strength. And then we can swan dive around that front foot. Curl the back toes under, find the length here. And drop that back knee. And bring the left knee back. Drawing ourselves back to child's, forehead to the mat. Rest here a moment, again on your belly if the knees don't want to bend so much. Okay, that's fine. 5 breaths here. If you choose to do the staircase breath, 4 sips in, exhale out. Bring the energy down. As we change that elevation of the breath, cleansing and filtering all those systems in the body. And one more round. Beautiful. Let's come into one more downward dog. Back up to all fours, transition to down dog. This time, walk the feet towards the hands. And let's hinge up into a flat back. Take the hands to the top of the thighs. Float up. Notice the warmth we've created here. Stronger in our mountain pose. Come to the middle of the mat. Let's just celebrate this strength we have inside with celebrating that beautiful sentient being, our trees. So come to the middle of the mat. Let's do tree pose together, but we're going to take a mudra in tree pose. It's having the fingertips together, and each fingertips, the fingers are separated, Hakini mudra. So we've got the pinkies together, ring finger, middle finger, index, and thumbs, making this beautiful tent shape. Hold this in front of the heart. Feel that strength, that energy buzzing from your fingertips, one to the next. Stand strong in mountain pose. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. And then inhale, bend the right knee and lift the right toe up onto the right toes. Just notice shift of balance onto that left leg. Turn the right knee out, if you can see that here, and kickstand your right foot against the left shin, or you can glide it up, float it up with some breath up the leg, resting on the side of the shin, staying in this mudra, drawing it all towards the center. Lift up from the hips, up towards the sky, the beautiful, whatever your favorite tree is. Trees are such an amazing mood booster, no matter what. And then glide that foot down towards mountain pose again, keeping that mudra. Shifting to the right side, right balance, lifting that quad, and then let's shift off of the left. So we're tiptoeing on the left foot, turn the knee out, kickstand, left heel to right shin. See if you can find your way up that leg. And your breath. Oh, so many varied trees out there. It's beautiful. Glide down, drop the hands, find mountain. Find the quiet of mountain pose. Feel the support as if you were lying back, reclined with that support of the earth beneath the whole back body. Roll the shoulders back so you can feel that support. Beautiful. Walk to the base of your mat. Inhale the arms up, sweep them up as we swan dive again, back down to the mat. Bend the knees, walk the hands out. Bring the knees down, and we'll transition onto our back. Grab a block. Ease yourself down by holding the back of the thighs as you ease back onto the mat, or just roll over onto your back. Feet come hip width apart, knees hip width apart. Drape your arms next to the body and find the back of your heels with your fingertips. Exhale. Roll the shoulders down towards the earth. Broaden the collarbones. Beautiful, warming practice, everyone. Nice job. And we're keeping that warmth and taking that block between the thighs. Squeeze that block. Lift the hips up, curl the spine, tailbone towards the sky. And lift up into bridge, pressing the full length of your arms into the mat. Feel the breath travel here, elevating the hips. Staying strong through this foundation. You're going to lift the arms up towards the sky and then above the head. Finding this length from the knees to the fingertips. And then sweep the arms up towards the sky. Drape them down. And find your sacrum finds the mat. This time we'll grab that block on our way up. So shift the hips up towards the sky. Find that bridge with the block between the thighs. See if your one hand can grab that block and then squeeze the block between your palms and bring that block above the head. And then sweep back with that block up towards the sky, keeping that nice therapeutic pressure between the hands. Then place the block between the thighs. Snake it down to the earth. Grab the block, shift it, bring the hips up, place the sacrum on the block. Feel that ease that we've created on the low back by placing that block under the bridge, supporting our foundation with another brick, so to speak. Just staying in the spa bridge for a moment. See if you can communicate that sense of ease through the body with the breath. Feeling that release in the low back, so you don't have to force it to overwork. Just release. You can take one leg long and then the other. Standing in our mountain pose, reclined mountain pose with our feet against an imaginary surface. Feeling the length of the body, celebrating those long muscles between the torso and the legs that allow us so much movement. And then take each foot to the floor and lift the hips up. Remove the block, snake your spine down. And we're going to inhale, hold the back of the right thigh, bringing the knee just gently towards the face, but into a right angle. And we're going to press our back of the right thigh into the hands, really anchoring our femur into the hip socket on that right side. And then if you can take that right sole, that right foot towards the sky, getting a hamstring stretch here. Continue that dance between the back of your right thigh and your hands, supporting the alignment of our hip. Feel free to bend and straighten the leg. And then bend it, come on down. We'll take it the same on the other side. Grab the back of the thigh, hands, fingers clasped. And enjoy that energy between the hands and the thigh. And then straighten the leg up. Bend and straighten. Celebrate those hamstrings. There's always a new sensation every time we get into our hamstrings. Or maybe it's a familiar sensation. Support that action between the hands and the thigh. And the breath to match. Bend the left knee, bring the left foot to this floor. Clear the space around you so we can have an active dynamic twist here. Rolling over onto our right side, let's keep the knees together. Find that right angle with our pelvis, right angle to the mat. Let's bring the palms together. And so we're going to glue those, for the moment, just glue the knees together. And inhale, draw that arc with the left fingertips above you, reaching out into a twist. Feeling the reach of your left fingertips, and perhaps on your exhale, your left shoulder drops a little more towards the floor. Don't lose that connection between your fingertips. It's a beautiful line into the spine. Maybe the gaze comes over the left fingertips. And then with the strength of our abs, we're going to take the knee, separate the knee, keep the feet together, roll onto your back. And we're going to make a transition here in the middle. So the feet are together and the knees are apart. Our arms are nice and long in that T. Inhale. Exhale. Let's draw the knees together again on the other side. So we're coming over toward our left side, beginning to turn the pelvis into that right angle to the mat. Knees come together and we take that same shape on the other side. And this time our right arm's open into that twist. You can gaze over the right fingertips and then make a sweeping action with the right fingertips up into that beautiful rainbow arc. Right hand meets the left. And then we can sweep up, right arm out into a twist again. Soft gaze over. And then separate the knees, come onto the back. Transition into that evenness with the knees apart. Inhale, exhale. Close the knees over to the other side. Sweep the left arm up. Feel free to take another round here, just gently transitioning from one twist to the other. Or stay in the twist softer if you'd like. As we bring our active practice to a close, twists are so wonderful to bring it all together. Squeezing any last cleansing out of the spine that we need. When you're ready, you can come onto your back, straighten one leg and the other. Take one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Close the eyes. 4 beautiful sips of breath in. Hang out at the top for a moment of those stairs. Exhale, bring it down. And scan our body, noticing what we've created that's bright, radiant, joyful. And if there are remaining areas of sensation that are tense or stressed, notice and actively send intentional breath to those places. Release with an exhale. Float with your breath into a Shavasana, taking one arm, draping it next to the body, then the other. Surrendering, acceptance of where we are now. Really finding ourselves to focus on this very millimeter of time, millisecond of time on our mat, noticing the shape of the body on the mat, where we are in space. We are here. And if things feel in a flurry or out of balance, coming back to that reality, we are here. We are a shape in space. We are breath. And allow the breath to illuminate the joy. The millisecond of happiness, even if it's so small. And see if we can radiate that outward. Inhale that sense of well-being, of wellness into the body. Exhale, release, and begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bend the elbows, bend the knees. Roll onto your right side. Softly, away from the heart. And then help yourself up to a seated position with your hands. Bringing all of that positivity and wellness into the heart. Inhale. Exhale. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice today. Namaste.